At 1:29 a.m. on March 26, 2024, a wire the width of a pencil killed 6 men and destroyed America's second longest bridge. The official NTSB investigation has now revealed what really happened, and the root cause traces back 9 years to a shipyard in South Korea, where a single label was placed in the wrong position. This is the complete breakdown of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. 8 highway workers were on the bridge that night, 7 from Bronner Builders and 1 state inspector. They were filling potholes, routine maintenance on a route carrying 34,000 vehicles daily. Night work is standard practice to avoid traffic disruption. Minutes before the collapse, 24-year-old Carlos Hernandez sent a voice memo to his girlfriend. "Yes, my love. We just poured the cement and we're just waiting for it to dry." It would be his last message. The MV Dali is a container ship 984 feet long, as tall as the Eiffel Tower laid on its side, weighing 213 million pounds and carrying 4,700 containers. It departed Baltimore's Seagirt Marine Terminal at 12:39 a.m., bound for Sri Lanka. 22 crew members and 2 Maryland harbor pilots were aboard. According to official records, the captain reported the vessel was in good working order. At exactly 1:24:59 a.m., traveling at 8.7 knots through the Fort McHenry Channel, the Dali went dark. A loose wire, designated signal wire 1, connected to terminal block 381, disconnected from its spring clamp terminal. The undervoltage trip opened high voltage breaker HR1. Steering gear pumps, bow thruster, main engine cooling, vessel lighting, all failed simultaneously. The main engine automatically shut down. For 58 seconds, this 984-foot ship drifted powerless toward the bridge. Crew members found and reset the trip breaker. Power was briefly restored. But a critical fuel pump, the flushing pump, did not restart automatically. The NTSB investigation reveals the crew had been improperly using this maintenance pump to supply fuel to diesel generators for at least 7 months. When power returned, the pump stayed offline. Within seconds, the generators ran dry. The second blackout struck with the ship just 320 meters from impact. At 1:28:45 a.m., the Dali struck Pier 17 at between 6.8 and 8 knots. The impact force was nearly 5 times greater than the structural capacity of the pier. Within 30 seconds, the entire 1.6-mile continuous truss bridge, the second longest in America, had collapsed into the Patapsco River. The pilot's voice on the recording, "The Key Bridge is down." The official NTSB investigation traced the disaster to HD Hyundai Heavy Industries of South Korea, where the Dali was built in 2015. During construction, technicians installed a wire label band in the wrong position on signal wire 1. The label covered the wire's ferrule, the crimped metal connector, preventing full insertion into the spring clamp terminal. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy explained, "The shipbuilders put the label in the wrong place." For 9 years, that wire remained precariously connected. When the Dali's pilot broadcast the Mayday at 1:27 a.m., the dispatcher called Maryland Transportation Authority Police. At 1 minute 16 seconds before impact, officers at each end of the bridge were told to stop traffic. By 48 seconds before impact, both directions were blocked. But the workers on the bridge, the NTSB found that MDTA police had the construction inspector's cell phone number, but never called him. They would have had 1 minute and 29 seconds to escape. The Key Bridge opened in 1977, built for ships carrying 2,000 containers. The Dali carries nearly 10,000. When AASHTO established bridge vulnerability standards in 1991, Maryland never assessed the Key Bridge. Had they done so, they would have discovered it exceeded acceptable risk for catastrophic collapse by nearly 30 times. The bridge's protection dolphins were 25 feet in diameter. The Delaware Memorial Bridge is installing 80-foot dolphins at a cost of $93 million. The NTSB identified 68 bridges in 19 states that need immediate vulnerability assessments. All were built before 1991 and have never been properly evaluated. As of November 2025, 35 have been assessed, and 22 were found to exceed acceptable risk. The list includes Golden Gate Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, George Washington Bridge, Chesapeake Bay Bridge. The question isn't if another bridge will be struck, it's when. The original rebuild estimate, $1.9 billion. The current estimate, $5.2 billion. The Port of Baltimore, America's #1 port for automobile imports, lost $15 million daily during its 77-day closure. Over 140,000 jobs in Maryland depend on port operations. The ship's owners settled with the federal government for $102 million, but victims' families and businesses have filed over 46 lawsuits seeking far more. This is the official NTSB Safety Recommendation Report, MIR 2510. It contains 17 new safety recommendations for bridge owners, ship operators, manufacturers, and federal agencies. Ship operators must now implement infrared thermal imaging to detect loose wires. Bridge owners must evaluate motorist warning systems and vessel detection technology. This document is publicly available. The link is in the description. Julio Cervantes Suarez, 37, survived because his truck had manual windows. He rolled one down, climbed onto floating debris, and activated his helmet light for rescuers. He cannot swim. In his words, "I relive it all the time, the minutes before the fall and when I'm falling." 2 workers survived, 6 did not. 6 men died that night. Alejandro Hernandez Fuentes, 35, from Mexico, father of 4. Dolian Castillo Cabrera, 26, from Guatemala. Maynor Suazo Sandoval, 38, from Honduras, father of 2, Carlos Hernandez, 24, from Mexico. Miguel Luna Gonzalez, 49, from El Salvador, a grandfather. Jose Maynor Lopez, 37, from Guatemala. All were immigrants building American infrastructure. As NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy said, this tragedy should have never occurred. Lives should have never been lost. This was preventable. The Newquay Bridge will open in late 2030, with protections the original never had. Next on Collapse Report, the Fern Hollow Bridge. How Pittsburgh ignored 15 years of warnings. Subscribe to see that investigation.